All right, so here we are. In closing from last week, I have done a little bit of bias tape making and working on my D20. I have sewn up almost everything on my family commission, and I'm actually working on that right now, so that's what I'm doing today. It is Monday, and it's just about 4:20. So I am just wrapping up from the week. I didn't get a lot done over the weekend, but I mean, that's my days off. I'm allowed to not do too much if I want to. I did finish hand sewing all of my eyelets on my corset, so that is actually finished. So I have these two pieces and all of my eyelets. You can see through the sun now. All of the eyelets have been hand sewn and hand done. Sadly, they were all done with a nylon thread, and that has broken about 7 of my hand needles so far. I think it broke more than that, but that was 7 yesterday and the day before that. So I've been through a few. Now that I'm done that, I'm so glad I'm done. I need other things, and that is just going to get some trim on it. I'm going to hand stitch some trim in some sort of pattern. I don't know. I'm going to cover some of my rough edges. I'm going to cover up some of the paper that you can still see from when I pieced the pattern together. Yeah, I seamed a whole lot of paper into it, and if it was going through the wash a lot, it wouldn't be a problem, but it's not going to go through the wash, so I'm going to just cover them up, and then nobody will ever know but me, you, and the other people on the internet. My chemise and my drawers, they are both finished. They're actually in the washing machine right now, so I'm washing them, and I'm going to be able to wear them with this corset as soon as I put some trim on it, or I can wear it without. I can wear it without the trim if I want to, because it is finished. It just needs fancy trim, and that's just decorative. And I have chosen another project. I am going to make myself this project. This is Butterick 4790, but I got it in the wrong size, so I had to size it up, and it didn't quite fit, and I'm not very good at sizing patterns yet, so it's all kind of trial and error, and we will see if the pattern is maybe. I don't know. I've used some mock-up fabric, and I've mocked it up so that I can at least try out the pattern. I'm going to try it out in some mock-up fabric that I've got. These cool Canadian geese, I love it. And we'll see how it works. Because if it doesn't work, I mean, the apron could be a bajillion things that it needs to take in or fix or whatever. And then I'll have to do it again, but that's okay. I need to make 2 or 3 of these because I need clothes that I can sew in and feel comfortable and warm and are not my PJ pants. I mean, PJs are good, but I feel kind of weird. Like, I want out of my PJs at some point. I feel like I need clothes that I get into like I would be going to work. And that's what I'm making myself right now. So that's my goals for this week. We'll work on some more of my first 2 projects. We'll work on that. We're going to make up some little things, and my sister's actually asked me to do something, and it's on that list somewhere over there. I will have to do that, and you guys will get caught up next week. Alright guys, so here I am working on my sister's Nina's shirt, and I know the patterns do not go together. This is my first mock-up to make sure that I've got the pattern right, that it fits, that it's comfortable, and that it's at the right height, etc. So I just found some flannel that I actually own and some cotton that I actually wasn't sure what to do with, so something soft that she would be able to sleep in. Now, that lamp that I am moving around and constantly shining you way in the face, and I'm so sorry, is how I get really close. Like, some people would have like a littler light, and I don't. So this is the light I use when I have to pin really close and it's like nighttime or dark and stuff. So yeah, this is what I'm doing, and I will put some music on. All right, guys. Hi. It is Monday, January, what is it, the 11th? I'm very bad with dates. But it is close to 8:30. It is 8:26. And I am just kind of in the middle of sorting my mind for what I want to do for this week. And I am definitely going to stop touching my face as much because, man. Anyway. I am going to be working on my D20. I'm going to be working on my family commission, which is almost done. So I bet you today I have at least one of those done. So that's a continuous thing. I've got to make a couple of them, but at least one of them will be done so I can get some motivation and momentum here going. Oh, where's my sheet? I have corset, right? I need to do my trimming on my corset. And man, that's just... Right, corset. And then I have masks that I need to get finished for my sister. And I need to get that mock-up of my apron done. Some house stuff. And then I'm going to try to work in my next big project. I am working on some ideas. For now, we're going to get these done, and then next week I will probably have a new idea on what we're big projecting. We'll figure it out over this week, and we'll see how it goes. You know, me and my ketos. I guess this is going to be an adventure, a sewing adventure, and we're going to do this together. Have fun, guys, and happy learning! So I am going to be sewing here. This bit of the video is going to end up being speeded up. I'm just going to sit here and hand sew on the corset. I have a lot of trim to do, and it doesn't have to be as securely done as the eyelets, so I'm just going to tack this all in with regular thread, and I'm going to decide on my lace. I have a whole bunch of trims over here, and I don't know which one's going to go where, but I'm gonna try to cover a lot of weird vertical mistakes and stuff, so wish me luck. So here I switch from my corset over to my triangles for my D20. So wish me luck. All right, so today is Tuesday and it is about 9 o'clock at night. I have been working for several hours on this D20 dice bag and I am really unhappy with myself. I got through all my steps and I was fine right up until I tried to sew my next triangle. Okay. So I did the first one, which looks like this. Ironically, number 1, really funny, not on purpose. So I managed to sew this one and it came out right. And I was like, cool, awesome. And I put it away and I put it away for a couple of days and I immediately forgot what I did. So I got this part on. I got my bias tape on properly, but my reverse side keeps messing up. For the life of me, I couldn't figure it out. Clean my machine, rethreaded my machine, clean my machine again, shook my machine because, you know, occasionally you get frustrated with your machine and you're wondering if there's a loose part in there and if you should probably get a new machine or take it into somebody and get it fixed, and no. Okay, so I brushed it out, put it all back together again, rethreaded it, tried it again. Worked just fine. Stop making this weird zippery noise. Cool. I think I'm ready to go. Immediately tries. The seam doesn't work. I scream and I yell and I rage. And then I think about it and I think back to what I did and look through videos. I changed feet, people. So, right now, currently on my sewing machine is a regular foot. When I went to do this part last time, I used a zipper foot. That way I don't have to worry about my thickness of my foam being too thick for my machine because the seam isn't trying to press through all of that stuff, which is what I'm not trying to sew through. I'm actually trying to sew right next to it, which would make sense if I used a zipper foot on like stitch width. Kind of 5-ish would get me a nice narrow touching this triangle without actually touching this triangle. Oops. All right. I am now going to finish seaming this triangle, see how many more I can get pinned together so that I can at least get my bias tape pinned out and see if I need to make any more. And then I will get to the next part of this, which is actually trying to put my pockets together. I would just like to say that the zipper foot on like near 2 on my stitch width is really what has actually made a difference here. Changing your feet for each project or each part of a project where your regular foot doesn't quite work, kind of important as we learn. So it is just after 9:40 and I have been fiddling with the triangles, and you know what? I feel much better, but I would like to admit that there's some problems when you come to bias binding, and that is I couldn't remember for the life of me how to make bias binding do this. And I watched a couple videos and it kept slipping past me, and it was all in the 3D. It was, I had it down on my project and I didn't know what was wrong. And so I kept putting them together like this and trying to sew an angle and have that work. And it wasn't working. I couldn't remember why. And I would like to show you this. Most important when bias binding is when you want to flip it and you want to add a new piece, you've got to turn them at right angles to each other with the right sides together. And then you sew this triangle right here. You sew across right where that wrinkle is. Okay? You sew right there, and it's perfectly wrinkling like that because this is straight cut binding that is made in the bias style, not bias binding supposed to be. but I like the design better this way, and I can work with straight grain bias binding just as well when I'm working on very few corners. Well, a lot of corners, but very few curves. So to do this, really, you just do it that right angle way. And I mean, it seems so silly, and you've got it down on your project, and you do this, and you do this, and you do this, and I swear to goodness, it's as simple as this. Just turn it. And it'll magically sew itself up, and you'll be like, that's how you close blankets. Sometimes I forget the easy stuff. Just as everybody else does, we all kind of just forget the easy things. And that's what a lot of this has been about, is reminding myself of the beginnings, reminding myself of all of the stuff that was easy and simple once upon a time ago. The idea of what sewing kind of looks like for other people, as well as what sewing has looked like for me, and trying to give you guys some tips, some tricks, and basic reminders of some stuff that we all forget, because sewing has hundreds of books, thousands of pages, hundreds of thousands of fashion plates. Like, the centuries have been kind to fashion. Fashion has plenty to work with, and all of those sewing books have different teaching methods and different methods of the time and different methods of who you were in your status symbol and that kind of thing. And sometimes it's just about the basics. Even those seamstresses and tailors probably forgot some things that they didn't usually use. So they would use things that they normally did instead. So they'd use a sailor stitch if they were a sailor seamstress in all of their stitching, because that was the way they do it. Nowadays, we kind of hidgety-pidge through all the stitches and all the different kinds, and we try to be a tailor and a seamstress and a millinery, and, you know, we try to make our own fabric, we try to make our own clothes, we try to tailor our own stuff. We try to do it all. And sometimes that's a massive endeavor. No lies. That is a massive endeavor. It's kind of nuts, and we love it. We love this. We love being these kind of people, but the basics slip through our fingers. And I mean, 20 years down the road, you're still going to forget one or two things. It's going to happen. Don't worry about it. It's just sewing. If it worked for seamstress to use a sailor stitch in every garment she ever made, do you really think she didn't hide or make it look different just by using trim or something else when she had to repair something that wasn't exactly a sailor's outfit? Probably. So if you're using a hemming stitch forever and ever and ever, then that's what you do. I'm going to try to skip around and actually remember how to do the stitches and things that I remember how to do, as well as I'm going to try and look at these stitches and see what they can be used for other than what they are decoratively. They're not the sturdiest stitches when you get down into decorative, but they can be really cool on repairs and stuff. So I'm hoping I'll be able to check that out this week, but it's probably going to be something that comes along in the rest of 2021. We're going to do some hemming and we're going to do fix-its. I'm going to tackle the massive pile of stuff that's behind me this year, and that is my goal. Hey everybody, I have just gotten home. Well, I've actually been home for a couple hours, but my body's really tired from my physio, and I'm exhausted. One night good sleep does not fix bad sleep. Sorry, my cat is trying to get my attention. Nova, here, look at the pupils. Come, be cute. Come on, come. No? See, she knows you're looking. So, I haven't gotten a lot done in the last 2 days. I have gotten some work done, and I have gotten some ideas done. But I guess today will probably be mostly a rest day, and at some point I will be a little more energetic. Maybe a nap. Hopefully that solves it, but I know my fibro, I know me. Sometimes you're just exhausted, and that's okay. I guess I will have to make some extra work over the weekend to kind of make it up. or I can just work as hard as I can. What do you think? Okay, so I was feeling a bit better sometime in the afternoon here, and I did some work on my apron because I was on a video call. So I give you the footage of what I was doing then, and then we're gonna go to me later. Hi guys, today is Friday and it is a little after 3 in the afternoon, and I have been working on my goose apron dress that's being made from this pattern. And the main reason I was doing that instead of working on the thing that I'm supposed to be working on, which is my commission, was because I was on a video call all morning with my sister and my nephew, and we were all talking a little bit of business, a little bit of catching up and everything. So I needed something that I didn't need my brain for. So I've been working on my apron all day. But now I'm going to switch gears. Now that I've finished calling my family and we've finished talking for this week, I guess. Probably not. We'll talk again tomorrow. I'm going to now switch gears and I'm going to work on my D20 and try to get all of this bias binding onto all of these triangles. I'm very excited about the finished product. I am not so excited about all of this bias tape. It's not the making of it, which I love to do. I have learned that I love to make bias binding because it's soothing, and for some reason I like ironing only that. I hate ironing everything else, but I like ironing bias binding. But that's okay. Guess it's just a quirk. So I'm going to get started on that and we'll see how far I get. All right, I'll see you guys later. All right, hi guys. We are sitting at about 4:05 and I'm going to take a long break, but I wanted to let you know that I have figured out my pocket solution in my D20 bag. So now that I've figured that out, I'm going to hem up all of the edges, line them all up, and then sew them all together, and then I'll put them through the center, and they'll end up in the bottom of the bag. And then I just have to do that whole thing again with all of the pocket lids, and then I need to hand sew. I think the bottom line will probably end up having to be hand sewn the entire place, or all of the seams in the bottom will have to be hand sewn together in order to make it work with all of the layers, because I've things. But it's been a really big challenge, and I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to get it done, because his face is just gonna light up when I'm finished this. Anyway, I will get back to work. All right, hi guys. So it is Sunday, and it's just a little bit before 5, so I'm gonna get to editing these videos together and letting you guys know how I've been doing this week on sewing. I have finished my chemise and bloomers, and in just a minute I'm gonna go and take some pictures of that so that I can show you those. My corset is still being hand sewn. I have gotten almost all the organza onto the edges. Now I'm just gonna go in and hand sew some lace, and then that will be finished, I think. Yeah, I just need to pick some laces, which I have in a little bag over there. I have some corset laces that I can choose from, and I have a bunch of pretty colors, because who needs to have just plain colors? That's for everybody else. In this house, I'm gonna have lots of color. So that is done. The bias binding's going well on my commission here. It is a long process, since there are those 20 triangles, and then there's the 5 triangles on the inside for the pocket, and each one of those pockets has to get 2 zippers, and then each of the side triangles gets to have a zipper, and just, there's a lot to do still, and I haven't even attached the pockets yet because I didn't quite figure out how to put the bag together until yesterday. So I'm there. In my apron, I added some width to my panels because the width of my skirt was bigger than what I had available as my width of my fabric. So what I did was added a strip along each side so that I would have a little bit of extra piecing. And I mean, piecing skirts is very, very normal in every age, all the way back until. So I've pieced that together. I have to work on the bodice and to see if it fits, and hopefully my modifications don't thoroughly mess with the pattern. We can only hope. We can only hope. So we'll see what happens. And I have some masks to do, but I haven't gotten them done. What else did I get done? I did not get as much done this week as I thought I was going to. It's been a little bit of a weird week. I did a lot of other things that I don't usually do. I guess really I did some, and I got a couple of completed projects, so that's at least underway. And I have my sewing room set up so that I can do another couple of more projects. And I did go get more cardboard so that I can put more of my fabric onto cardboard and then put the fabric properly sorted out where I can see it. As soon as I make some more shelves. Man, I have a lot to do. Hi guys. So, this is my dress. This is the chemise. And the split bloomers, which, as you can see, they definitely split. They split quite high. And, of course, I'm wearing tights underneath so I can show you. And the back is also split. And I mean, this is perfect. This is just what I'm looking for, guys. And it's all done and cute. And it's super comfortable. Alright guys, so I will be posting these vlog videos on Mondays, and I will be doing that before 9 p.m. every Monday. I'm making a big project next week, so next week I think we're going to tackle some things that are on my to-do list, and I'll show you guys how I do that. And I'll see you next week. As always, you can always hit the like button, that helps me a lot, and I will see you next week. Talk to you later.
On the skirt of the side back, this has been, I think I actually